Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Audrey's Designs. It's Audrey here and you are welcome. In our video today, we are going to be sewing a simple Ankara top, a very simple Ankara top. So that top that you want to rock with any pants that you have, be it palazzo or in fact any pants, you are in the right place to learn that top. I promise you, you will learn something from it. And if you learn something from this video at the end, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and I will definitely see you in the video. For this outfit, what we need is just the fabric and the lining which we'll be using. So I'll just go now ahead into the cutting. So this is the fabric that I'll be using for this top. I've gone ahead to place the fabric that I'll be using in order to start drawing, and as you can see, the good side is inside while the bad side is outside, so that we're going to be drawing on the bad side. Now we'll move ahead to see the measurements. We don't need a lot of things, we just need the length, the bust, the waist and the sleeves. So heading right on to drawing. For the length of this top, I have 20 inches, so I'll place my tape right down here at 21 and I'm going to mark. My bust line is going to be on 9 inches and this is it here. I'll go ahead to use my ruler and make the lines clear enough. For my shoulder, I have a shoulder of 16. I'm dividing by 2. It's going to give me 8 inches. I mark 8 inches. I did not put any allowance. For my weight, for my bust, I have a bust of 42. When I divide, it's going to give me 10 and a half. So I place 10 and a half and I add 1.5 inch for my sewing allowance. While at the waist, I have a measurement of 34. When I divide by 4, it's going to give me 8.5. I mark 8.5 and I put 1.5 inch for sewing allowance as well. Then I'll head on now to connect these lines. And I come here to draw the curve. Now I come to slant my shoulder, which is just 1 inch. I place 1 inch here and then I go ahead to connect it with my ruler. So right now, I'm not going to be bringing out the neck round for this dress because as you can see, the sleeve is just one-sided. It's going on one side. So for now, I'll just go ahead to cut it out and I'll bring out the back side before I cut out the neck. I've gone ahead to place my fabric to cut out the back part. So I'll come to the edge here and I make sure that I bring out 1.5 inch for my sewing, for my zipper allowance throughout. So after I bring out the 1.5 inch, I take the front part and I place on it. So this is exactly what I have. I'll just go ahead to follow these lines and cut out. Moving on to bringing out the neckline, I'll take the front part of the dress. I open towards the good side. So this is the good side here. And then for the back part, first of all, I use my pins to pin out the zipper allowance. When I pin out the zipper allowance, I open the back part as well and I place it on the front part. To bring out the neckline, first I come to my center. This is the center here, and I mark out 2.5 inches. So when I mark out 2.5 inches, I come down here, that's to the armpit of the dress, and I mark out 4.5 inches. This is 4.5. I'll just go on now ahead to connect it. This is what I have. I'll just go ahead to cut it out. So this is what I have for my top. I'll just go on now ahead to cut the sleeves. So I've gone ahead to place out my fabric the way I'll bring out my sleeves. As you can see, I folded it into 4 pieces so that I can bring out both sleeves. I know that one is shorter than the other, but I'll cut the 2 out, then I go on to adjust and make one longer and the other shorter. For the length of these sleeves, I have a measurement of 15, but I'll be placing on 20 inches so that I can bring out the puff well. And for the round of the sleeves, it just depends on how large you want the hands to be and how puffy you want them to be. So I'll just go ahead to place mine on 16 inches. And then I'll put my 1 inch for my sewing allowance. Right now, I'll just go ahead to draw as I normally draw my sleeves round. And for the line here, I'll just take it down straight because I know that I'll also do gathers at this point. And this is all I have to do for my sleeves. I'll go now on to cut it. Now, since one sleeve is longer than the other, I'll go ahead to cut one. So this is the one I'll be cutting. I just go to the top and I bring out 3 inches. So this is 3 inches. I'll just follow the line which I've marked 3 inches and I'll just cut it out as well. So this is what I have for one sleeve and this is what I'm going to have for the other one. Now I want to bring out the lining of this top. I've gone ahead to place the lining, so I'll just take the frontal part of the top and place it on it right now. I'm done. I'll just go ahead to do the same thing on the back part. I'm done bringing out the linings of this top. As you can see, this is what I have, and these are the sleeves, so I'll just go ahead now to sew it. For this top, the first thing I'll go on to do is to line the cloth. So I'll just go ahead and show you how I do for the front part, which is here, and then you can do the same thing when you're doing the back part. So I'm done lining this top. As you can see, I've sewed everywhere, including the bottom. I've just left a little space at the side here that I'll use to turn it to the good side, because the waist of this top is not going to be sewn. It will just remain as it is. So I'll go now ahead to turn it to the good side and iron it out. So this is what I have after ironing it. I'll just go now ahead to do the same process for the back part. I'm done with placing the lining and the ironing, so I'll go now ahead to hold the darts of this dress. For the dart in front, what I do is that I measure 3 inches throughout, and then I do a curve. Then I turn to the other side and I fold it so that the chalk can print. and then I just go ahead to follow my line. I'll be doing the same thing on this other side. For the dart behind, what I do is that I just simply fold into two, then I mark 7 inches from the starting point, and then I'll go to my machine and I sew like this. So this is what I'm going to be having for the back part. I'm done now with the dart. You can see it there. This is what I have behind, and this is what I've done in front. This is the good side. So I'll just go now to the sleeves of this dress. So for the sleeves, what I'll be doing is that I'll be putting elastic at this bottom part, and then for this top I'm going to be doing gathers. So to do gathers on the top, I'll go on to sew two lines, those are my gather lines, and I'll use it to pull the gathers. And while for the bottom, I'll just fold it and then sew in lines, making sure that I keep a space where the elastic can pass. The elastic is very small, so the space doesn't need to be big. I'm done stitching my lines where I can place my elastic. So you can see how the line is passing. I'll just go on to insert the elastic into this space. And for the gathers, this is what I have. I'll just go on to pull it. So these are the two lines. I hold one thread on each line, and then I go ahead to pull it. So this is what I have after pulling my gathers. Now I'll go on to put in the elastic. So to put in this elastic, I need my safety pin and I need the elastic. This is it. First, I go on to put the elastic into the pin, and then I hold it in. I come to this hole that I have here and I start sending it. So this point of the dress was on 11 inches. I just have to make sure that it can extend to 11 inches. So this is what I just simply do. And yes, I know that it can get 11 inches. I'll just go now ahead to sew stitches here, and then I cut out the rest of the elastic, and I'll do same for the other sleeve, because this is just... I'm done with the sleeves of this blouse. As you can see, this is a shorter arm and this is the longer one. Now I'll go on to insert the zipper of my blouse. This is the back part where I have to insert the zipper. I'll just go ahead to insert the zipper the way I normally do. I'm done with my zipper. This is what I have. I'll go now ahead to join the sides of this top. So I place both sides, and then I go ahead to use my measurement. So on the bust, I have a bust of 42. When I divide by 2, it's going to give me 21, and here it's 23.5. So that means I'll be using 1 1/4 on this side and 1 1/4 on the other side. While for my waist, I have a measurement of 34. When I divide by 2, it gives me 17, and what I have here is 18. So I'll be using 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on this other side. So I'll go now ahead to sew following these lines. Done joining the sides. These are the lines that I have. Now I'll go on to fit in the sleeves to the top. That will be the last thing that I need to do. First, I'll be starting with the sleeve, which is longer. I go ahead to join it from the top to the bottom. Now I take my top, the part which actually has a full arm, and I'll measure it. So I measure this circle to confirm how large it is. What I have here is 8.5. I'll go on to make sure that I adjust this one and it gives me 8.5 as well, because what I have here right now is 6. So I'll just make the gathers a little bit loose so that it can get to 8.5. So that is what I have now. I'll go on to fit the sleeves. So this is one sleeve. Now I'll head on to put the other sleeve, which is just very much easy. I just need to put it from here to here. I'm done fitting in my sleeves. This is what I have, and that's the end of it. So we are done with the top. I'll go on to turn it to the good side so that we'll see how it looks like. This is what this top looks like. You can see the sleeves, the way they are puffed. One is a full sleeve and the other is just half. I'll just go now ahead to iron out this top and we are good to go. If you learned something from this video and you are still here now, please give this video a thumbs up, hit on the subscribe button, and also turn on post notification on that bell button so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. And I'll definitely see you in my next video. Bye.